To many in the US, today's international artist is simply known as the Balloon Chick. That's in no small part thanks to her #2 US hit about lighter-than-air party favors. And though this song is only a small part of her career, she doesn't mind the label because, believe it or not, this song is a masterful anthem speaking out against Cold War fear and paranoia. It's the ultimate pop contradiction song, a lighthearted ditty with a heavyweight message. And it charted because a DJ accidentally played the wrong song. You're going to get the story coming up next on Professor of Rock. Hey, music junkies, Professor of Rock, always here to celebrate the greatest artists and the greatest songs of all time. If you recall that utter joy of turning your record or your cassette over from side 1 to side 2, you really need to subscribe below right now. This is the Music Nostalgia channel, and I promise you'll dig it. We also have our latest series. It's exclusive on Patreon. Check out the Patreon link below in the description and become an honorary producer, and you can help us curate this music history. So it's time for another edition of our series, Bottled Lightning, where we break down the history of a beloved one-hit wonder that still resonates in our culture. But I don't like to call the one-hit wonder because a lot of these bands and acts have great songs after that. They just didn't chart. But we celebrate that glorious hit that rocketed up the charts and we still listen to today. On previous episodes, we've covered My Sharona by The Knack, I Melt With You by Modern English, and The Promise by When in Rome.
Yeah, my Sharona, I'll stop the world and melt with you. I promise you I will.
Now today, we're going to break down the German new wave worldwide smash, 99 Luftballoons by Nena. After playing for years in an ill-fated band called The Stripes in Hagen, Germany, Gabrielle Susanne Nena Kirner decided it was time to move on. So she left the band and she relocated to Berlin. There, Nena formed a new outfit called Nena in 1980 with her boyfriend Rolf Brendel on drums, Hugh Fahrenkrog Peterson on keyboards, Jürgen Demel on bass, and Carlos Carges on guitars. I hope I said those names right. I did the best I could. The name Nena was actually Kirner's childhood nickname. It was given to her by her family while they were on holiday in Spain, I guess. In Spanish, it actually means little girl. As the band started playing shows along the German club circuit, they quickly started garnering success. Their debut single, Näher geträumt, or Just a Dream in English, that became a #1 hit in Germany and some other German-speaking countries. Their first album, 1983 self-titled Nena, also went to #1 in Germany, and much of the credit for that has to go to their follow-up single, 99 Luftballoons. Now, 99 Luftballoons' literal translation is 99 air balloons, but is more accurately rendered simply as 99 balloons. In 1983, it was released as Nena's second single in Germany, even though the record company was against it. Apparently, there was some concern because the song didn't have a chorus, and they just didn't think that it seemed commercial enough. But the band felt strongly about its message, and they pushed to get it out there. Nena's record company, they were also dead set against releasing the 99 Luftballoons in America, since the lyrics were all in German. However, a happy accident would soon bring the song to the States, helping propel it to near worldwide domination on the airwaves. As the story goes, German actress and musician Christiane Fels-Chernow was visiting DJ Rodney Bingenheimer on his K-Rock radio show in LA. For the interview, she brought with her a mixtape that included a song from her boyfriend's band. It also had 99 Luftballoons on it. Though Christiane intended to play her boyfriend's track on the show, she accidentally played Nena's song instead. Listeners really, really liked what they heard, and the phone lines lit up like a Christmas tree, just buzzing with requests. So from there on out, Bingenheimer threw it into heavy rotation, and it further increased its popularity from there. After that, 99 Luftballoons took the US by storm. It just spread across the country like wildfire. It wasn't at all hindered by the German lyrics. In fact, the foreign language added a sense of mystique and intrigue for American audiences. Now, when Nena's label figured out what was happening, all of a sudden they were on board with releasing the song in the US. Go figure. So they started pushing for an English translation, which is interesting. They wanted it for both the song and the album. As the band remembers it, there was a huge wave of pressure to translate this particular song. In Nena's words, "I would never have done a translation since I love the song in German. But the record company started freaking out, saying that they had to have an English version of the song. The band, of course, conceded and recorded a new version with the American title 99 Red Balloons. But the record company's designs for America didn't exactly pan out how they had hoped.
Red balloons floating in the summer sky.
Believe it or not, the German version was actually the more popular of the two. I liked it a lot better. Since US radio stations had already been playing the original for some time, I think the English version just felt more of a novelty at that point. I don't even remember hearing the English version at all until much later.
It's red alert. There's something here from somewhere else.
Anyway, 99 Luftballoons entered the Hot 100 at number 74, and within 7 weeks it was a top 40 hit. 2 weeks later, on March 3rd, 1984, the song rose all the way to number 2. It was held out of the top spot by Van Halen's Jump. Outside the States, the original German single reached number 1 in Australia, Austria, Belgium, Japan, Netherlands, New Zealand, Sweden, Switzerland, and of course Germany. And it's still one of the best known German pop songs in many parts of this world. As for the English translation, 99 Red Balloons, it didn't do half bad either. Though it failed to chart in the US, it did make it to number 1 in Canada, Ireland, and the UK. As we get into what this song is really about, I do want to thank our sponsor, Zenni Eyewear, the glasses I wear on this channel day in and day out. Right now, you can get over 1,100 pairs of glasses for less than $7. You heard me right, $7. Make sure that you go to Zenni.com or our link below to get in on the Zenni Fashion Frenzy. Go design your look today. Okay, so we got to get into what this song is all about. So Nena's guitarist, Carlos Kargas, was at a Rolling Stones concert in West Berlin when he first got the idea for 99 Luftballoons. At the time, the German capital was divided into the Democratic West and the Communist East. And through the middle of the two ran the infamous Berlin Wall, brandished with gun turrets and armed guards. It was one of the hot spots for the decades-long Cold War fronted by the United States and Russia. So at one point during the show, the Stones released a cluster of balloons that sailed up into the sky. Now, Carlos watched as one of those balloons drifted off course and it went over the wall into East Berlin airspace. It was from this small and seemingly incidental act that he imagined a terrible what-if scenario. Carlo asked himself, what if East Berlin's radar mistook that one balloon for enemy aircraft? That could be enough to instigate an all-out nuclear firefight. If that seems like somewhat of an extreme reaction to you, guessing you probably didn't grow up during the Cold War. Most of you did. But for those who didn't live through this omnipresent threat, it's hard to understand just how deeply it permeated daily life. For example, a lot of Cold War kids grew up not only with fire drills and earthquake drills at school, but also nuclear bomb duck and cover drills. These would leave lasting psychological scars on a generation and their kids as well, even though we all know that getting under our desks wouldn't have made much of a difference. We know that now. The East versus West conflict was also a prominent undercurrent in pop culture as well. And as a kid growing up in the 80s America, you were inundated with Cold War references, whether in movies.
I must break you.
Rocky is in serious trouble.
Forces of the Russian army. It is believed the lead waves were disguised as commercial charter flights to communicate.
5 weeks you're gonna fly against the best fighter pilots in the world.
Or in music.
If the Russians love their children too, see the difference and it's getting better all the time.
The East-West conflict found its way into our daily life everywhere. It even found its way into our Saturday morning cartoons, though it was somewhat watered down. It felt like it was all coming to a head and that nuclear war was only a hair trigger away from engulfing the world. Sometimes it felt that way, especially when you're just a little kid. I mean, Reagan pushing the nuclear button explosion at the end of the video for Land of Confusion, that was crazy. As for the members of Nena, the threat of the Cold War was an ever-present reality due to the city they lived in. Using this tense atmosphere as inspiration, Carlos went on to write the lyrics of 99 Luftballoons. Now, when Nena first read Carlos's lyrics, she got goosebumps. They were the most intense thing that he had ever written up to that point. Keyboardist Farron Krog Peterson, he then contributed some ironically upbeat music, leading to one of the greatest Cold War dance jams ever composed. Behind the power of its 80s new wave synth sound, 99 Luftballoons was the ultimate pop contradiction between feeling and meaning. So to break down this song, I'm going to have to stretch myself a little bit here. It's because I think the German original is the better of the two, as I said, and I'm not a German speaker. But I want to compare that to the American version so that English speakers can get a better feel for Nena's intent. So disclaimer here, I'm going to do my best here with the translation tools available to me, Google Translate and such. If there are any fluent German speakers out there who can provide further insight about this where I'm wrong, please comment, drop a comment below. Although the 99 Red Balloons revamp is supposed to be based on the same storyline as 99 Luftballoons, lyrically speaking, the two are far from identical. In fact, Nena herself has said she dislikes the English version. This is mainly because the translator, Kevin McCauley, he took a lot of poetic licenses in the translation process. The energy of the song was working, Nena said. There was no need to do a translation. The record company panicked. The whole vibe is totally different. I don't want to say I never liked it, but I never felt it. So yeah, there are some key differences here. In the German original, Nena opens by singing, "Do you have some time for me? If so, I'll sing a song for you about 99 balloons on their way to the horizon." It's a simple intro. But from the get-go, the English version starts off in left field. It places Nena in a little toy shop where she buys a bag of balloons. Her intent is to set them free at the break of dawn. Like I said, poetic license. Although that in itself doesn't alter the message of the song, it's an upfront indication that these two songs are really on different paths. They start that way.
The money we've got, set them free at the break of dawn.
Okay, so the balloons are up in the air. Now the English version continues with Nena singing, "Back at base, bugs in the software. Flash the message, there's something out there."
Back at base, bugs in the software, flash the message.
Okay, this sounds something like what Carlos was imagining when he was at the concert. But bugs in the software? This seems to indicate a technological glitch rather than a human jumping to conclusions. The original makes no hint of this. In fact, the balloons are thought to be unidentified flying objects from space. As a result, a fighter squadron is sent to investigate. Then for some reason, the English verses are out of order when compared to the German. The German verse 2 actually lines up better with the English verse 3, and vice versa. The German story cites 99 fighter jets, calling each one a great warrior, thinking they are like Captain Kirk. The result is a lot of fireworks. The neighboring country appears to not understand what's going on, so they shoot at the 99 balloons. The implication is that the misunderstanding leads to war. The English translation of this is close, although there's a lot of hyperbole. It calls the jets super high-tech and knights of the air. The Captain Kirk reference lines up as well, but instead of fireworks, we get something completely different. We get the lines, "with orders to identify, to clarify and classify, scrambling in the summer sky." In the German third verse, we are introduced to 99 war ministers who thought they were clever people. They call for war and they want power. Nena then laments something along the lines of, who would have thought that things would someday go so far because of these 99 balloons? And that appears to be the crux of the entire German version of the song. It's about seemingly small and inconsequential things growing into a large crisis if they're not kept in check. Conversely, the English version is couched in much more political drama, which seems to really take center stage. As the English story continues, we really see more departures in the language. 99 Decision Street, worry, worry, super scurry, call the troops out in a hurry. That's all new.
Super scary. Call the troops out in a hurry.
And then we come to a completely fabricated part. This is what we've waited for. This is it, boys. This is war. Seems like a bit of a bloodthirsty indictment. Whether that's true or not, it wasn't part of Nena's original intent.
What we've waited for. This is it, boys. This is war.
The English version includes the lyric, "The president is on the line." No mention of any president is made in the German version, of course.
This on the line is 99 red balloons.
It was never meant to be a specific political song, said Nena. The message was that misunderstandings between people can cause everything. It can cause a butterfly effect. We were never a political band with our lyrics, but we were always people who wanted peace in this world. According to Nena, 99 Luftballoons is simply about being aware of our actions and promoting peace. Its lessons are not tied to political gamemanship, but really everyday human interactions. As the song comes to a close, we get one last verse in both the German and English versions. And again, there are discrepancies.
Ließen keinen Platz für Sieger.
The German version says something like, 99 years of war left no room for victors. But in the English, it converts 99 years of war to 99 dreams I have had. So now almost a century of war has been glossed over in favor of 99 dreams about red balloons.
Dreams I have had, and everyone.
After making a close comparison between the two, you realize that lyrically, they're just two different songs. And when you take away the author's intent, not cool. But what they do have in common is a world in ruins at the end. The assumption is that society had been obliterated by nuclear bombs or some kind of weapon of mass destruction. And the German version, Nena makes her rounds and sees the world lying in ruins.
Seh die Welt in Trümmern liegen.
In the English version, it's all over and she's standing pretty in this dust that was a city.
In this dust that was a city.
In both versions, Nena then lets one more balloon fly away into the sky. Very poetic.
Denk an dich und lass ihn fliegen.
Now, beyond the lyrics, the musicality of the song plays a vital role in helping us to understand what this song is really about. I've been thinking about this. 99 Luftballoons is just so upbeat. You're on top of the world when you listen to it. I am. So is the song's up-tempo, new wave danceability designed to undercut its tragic tale? I tend to think so.
99 Luftballons.
I think that by dancing in the face of our fears, we are saying that we won't let terror rule our lives. And I think that's what this song is really about. And we've just been through this for the last couple of years. It makes no sense not to be hopeful, is what Nena said. It doesn't make the world any better to be afraid or scared or paranoid. The world needs strong people with open minds. As soon as you get scared about what's going on in the world, you're weak. That's not how I live my life. That's what Nena said. I agree with that. Now, though in the US, Nena is typically thought of as a one-hit act, in Germany, she has dozens of albums, and actually she's enjoyed a very successful career that has spanned decades. Back in 1987, Nena split from her bandmates to go solo, and she released her first solo album in 1989. In the 90s, she pulled back from the spotlight to spend more time with her family. But then in 2002, she released Nena featuring Nena, a collection of her biggest hits. It was a huge sell, and it ignited the interest of a new generation. In 2005, her album Willst du mit mir gehen? Do you want to go with me? I hope I said that right. That achieved platinum status and it climbed to number 2 in the German charts. Pretty awesome, that many years later. Since then, she's released another 5 albums, the most recent being in 2020. Between her band and her solo career, Nena has had 13 German top 10 hits. Outside of Germany, she's had 18 top 40 hits and another 10 that have broken the top 100. Overall, she's had almost 50 charting singles. This, my friends, is no one-hit wonder. 99 Luftballoons in German and English has been featured in a long list of films and TV series, including Grosse Pointe Blank in 97. Love that. Boogie Nights in 97. The Wedding Singer in 88. That 80s Show in 2002. Gilmore Girls in 2003. Scrubs also that same year. My Name is Earl in 05. Psych, My Best Friend's Girl, 30 Rock, Watchmen.
99 Luftballons, ihren Weg weit für mich. Seh die Welt in Trümmern liegen.
Girls, Scream Queens, Atomic Blonde, Despicable Me 3. I mean, it's just a quintessential 80s song.
Was Zeit für mich, dann singe ich ein Lied für dich.
Daher Alarm zu geben, wenn so wär dabei.
As far as covers go, 99 Luftballoons got the honorary Weird Al polka treatment. That was in 85. And then Goldfinger covered it in 2000. Other versions by Owl City, Kylie Minogue, and just recently Kelly Clarkson did it.
99 red balloons go by.
This was absolutely one of my favorite songs as a little kid. And I remember the week of March 3rd, 1984, very distinctly. Even though I was really young, as you know, I listened to Casey Kasem's American Top 40 Countdown every single week without fail. I wrote them down, I'd memorize them. And I remember that week. I mean, Thriller by MJ, Jump by Van Halen, and 99 Luftballoons by Nena. They were all in the top 5. Jump and 99 Luftballoons were at number 1 and number 2. It was a glorious week and what I believe to be the greatest year in music history, 1984. What a time to grow up. Even though most of us listening to Nena didn't know a lick of German, the music lifted us with 99 red balloons. Leave us a comment about Nena and 99 Luftballoons. What do you remember about this song? And which version did you like better? What are your memories of the great year of 1984? Also a great year at the box office. Ghostbusters and Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom, Gremlins, Beverly Hills Cop. It was amazing. If you like this video, if you like our channel, please subscribe below. We'd love to have you as part of our community. And make sure to check out our Patreon and our latest merch below. All of it's here to keep the music alive. Until next time, 3 chords and the truth, my friends.